And we were talking about like a lot of things that have like grown in the industry. One of them being like how to stay relevant, or even just how to like keep up with like the trends and like what's been changing. You know, everything for even back to the iPad, you know, whether it's social media, all these things. I mean, how have you been able to keep up with the trends or like stay relevant?
Well, it's like a big thing with me. I'm actually trying to figure out some kind of something to help out my people. Because like, I'm an aging artist. I'm an older artist. I've been doing it for 20 years now. Joe, how long have you been doing it?
Almost 30.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not, you know, that walk in the park. Well, at some point, like, even though we make cool shit, because we're aging, like, it's hard, you know, to keep up with, like, younger crowd. You guys got it on point. Like, everything's faster, everything's better, everything's shinier. Like, so all the guys I grew up with and around and looked after and whatever, like, that were homies, they're not wanting to play the game anymore. They're not wanting to do the posts, the videos. It's a lot of extra work. I mean, how much extra side work do you do that's not tattooing?
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It's insane, right? I don't know how you do it. Just like even this production right here, this is a lot of time and effort.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a team, right? It's not doing it alone, but it's probably 50-50 with tattooing.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is kind of crazy. And there's even some days where I'm like, is this what I want it to be? You know, this is a lot of stuff.
Dude, there's a lot of days like where I'm just cool kicking back and not trying to post anything, not doing. Yeah. But in this day and age, the minute you stop, the money stops.
Right. It has come to my attention that a lot of you come here, watch the content, and don't subscribe. And that fact has been proven by those around me with a number figure of 90%. What's going on? You come here every week, you watch, just hit subscribe. That's it. That's all we want. Don't be a dick. Just hit the button.
Wasn't that funny during sex?
For her. All right. Welcome to the Unemployable podcast. Today we have Ryan Eternal and Joe Casal. And for any future guests, if you don't bring a fucking gift as cool as this, don't even bother coming.
Sucks to suck, dude. You know what I mean?
What were you guys talking about before? Where he's located?
Yeah, because I know he's originally from California and stuff, but he was living and working down here, and you know, following him on social media and stuff, seeing his adventures on the West Coast and all that.
You're
stuff.
telling
I love that somebody else
living out there,
telling my story. I love this. This makes me feel good, man. You're so good at this. No, you're getting it right. You're nailing it. So,
wait, hold on.
Has anybody else?
So Ryan, where are you now?
Well, so I'm going to military bases and tattooing there.
Tell me about that. What's your favorite base?
What is that?
You know, the one with the military people on it.
Yeah.
The stuff and the guns. And wait, can I say that? What am I not allowed to say on here?
You can say whatever you want. Daniel edited it out.
Okay, maybe.
When did the traveling start like that?
Oh, my whole
or it's always
military?
been, yeah.
A couple years ago, like it was really started.
And you're with a company or a group of friends?
Yeah, so I work for one shop in Orlando called Built for Speed with John Herndon and Jimmy Litwalk, those guys. Like, it's a big, really cool shop. There's like 13 tattoo artists.
Chumbawamba.
Fuck my life. Here we go. I got Chumbawamba. Fuck. All right. Yeah, I work for John Herndon and Jimmy Litwalk, who works at the shop. 13 artists there. It's a really cool shop. If you guys are ever in the area, more than welcome to come. Built for Speed. Rad shop. It's like fucking Narnia. It's like shops or rooms in rooms, and it's like you get lost in it. It's cool as shit. And
Go through the wardrobe?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And then the other company I work for, which I travel all the time for, is American Tattoo Society. And they're the only the only tattoo shop allowed on a military basis. So
cool.
We got 10 shops in multiple locations. There's 10 more shops coming this year. And there's 4 shops that they're going to release overseas, like Japan, Hawaii, Germany, and Alaska.
That's sick, because then you'll have the opportunity to really guest spot at all those places, right?
I go to all of them. So
Yeah.
like, every 2 weeks.
What a good idea.
Dude, every 2 weeks.
Like for everyone. Like obviously it's a great business plan.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
you always have clientele. And then like I like having the best tattooed military in the world.
Well, yeah, dude.
I feel like it's also stepping up because notoriously shops near military bases have not been known for quality.
They're still that way.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it's probably elevating it a little bit.
Oh yeah, the people we bring in, we get. So it's every shop has like 1 to 4, sometimes more permanent artists, but all the better artists, like, they come in and they travel. They get they get to go to every location. So it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Because it's like even down here, like coming up in the industry here, in my head and like friends, it was always like, yo, let's go to this shop or this shop, buy this base, almost with the mindset of like, we might not be doing the coolest tattoos, but we'll be crazy busy. Would you say that's accurate, or you are also doing cool tattoos?
No, it's both. Like, I mean, look at my feed. I'm posting a new huge tattoo every day. You know, it's like I stay busy. Like, everybody gets worried. They're like, oh, I don't want to go work for that company. I don't want to do like Army logos or whatever. You know what I mean? Like military tattoos. We're not doing that. Like, people in the military aren't like as gung-ho as they used to be, like about military. Now they're like, I want to get anime. You'll get this big tough dude walk in and you're like, dude, this dude's G'd up, looks like a full-on like manly man, whatever, mustache and all. It's like, yeah, I want to get a Demon Slayer tattoo. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
and you got numbing cream?
yeah, dude, legit. And it's like, but they got bread and time and they don't want to leave base because they're all, you know, everything's expensive. So
I think that's sick, dude.
So we do like hook them up a little bit on price, like a little. It's not like $3,000, you know, day sittings or nothing like that. But I mean, we're charging them fairly. So
no, I even remember like Skinny, like when it would be like slow here, he'd be like, "Yo, let's go up to like Charlotte or let's go like somewhere and just rock military tats for a couple weeks," and it was really helpful as like a young tattooer.
Oh, dude.
You know, and I mean, it would be helpful for any tattooer.
Dude, there's nothing better than repetition and time in the chair.
Yeah.
So
Plus, the military tattoos can also be very cool. I mean, I've done versions of EGAs and different squad logos and stuff like that, and
you're right.
And
tune symbols.
The perk. This is another perk. They're not allowed to get tattooed in all the shitty spots that we don't like tattooing. So like your neck. And the other perk is they come in. They're always on their best fucking behavior because if not, they'll get in trouble. So if they come in and they treat us bad, we just notify their sergeant or whatever, and they get fucked. So it's like,
dude, we gotta open one. No, seriously, bro. What'd you say, American?
Dude, they're always hiring. So like, if anybody's looking for, like, it's a good spot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool. The damn, now you got me thinking about back in the day traveling. Like you said, cool. I've done a bunch of cool like pilot sleeves, like Air Force stuff.
Oh
yeah,
with like old planes, and even some people like picking out like this from this time period and it flew in this area and associating it with the scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
That stuff could be really cool.
Dude, the one image we do a lot is like the Rose in No Man's Land, which was like iconic forever. You know, it's the nurse and the rose and like the World War II. Like, we do a lot of those, and they're rad. You can do them realistic, traditional, like all the different styles. So.
Fuck yeah. And you said you're traveling every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks I'm on a plane. Like, I'm on a plane so much that now I know every stewardess on every flight, and they know me. They're like, oh, you're getting the same old, like, I pretty much get the same seats, like, every time, the same service. So it's cool. Like, but
what's your favorite airline?
Oh, if it's a short flight, Southwest. If it's a longer flight, American. So Delta's got the best.
They ever
perks.
call you Mr. Eternal?
No. I wish they fucking did, though. That'd be right. Call me Chumbawamba.
That's right.
What is that? You're bringing the mic closer to you?
Yeah, Chumbawamba's talking.
It's his favorite band.
It is.
Where does Eternal come from? Ryan Eternal?
I worked with Frank at what's it called, and we worked at Eternal Inc., and then I thought, you know, like Eternal, Ryan Eternal, and then like I said, it like all kind of stuck, you know, like one day everybody's like, it's like, oh, you know, people much rather get tattooed by Ryan Eternal instead of Ryan Martin. So, you know how it goes.
Would you rather get tattooed by Ryan Eternal or Ryan Martin?
Oh, Ryan Eternal, definitely.
See?
Ryan Martin sucks.
Ryan Martin's a dick.
Joe, can we give you a cool last name right now?
Yeah.
No. I don't have a tattoo name.
It's got to be Star Wars related, 100%.
Yeah. It was
Joe Fett.
Joe Fett.
Nothing ever stuck.
Jojo Fett?
Jojo Fett.
That's not bad, though.
Jojo
It's not bad. It sticks.
If I could wear the helmet all the time.
All the time.
Really, that would work.
Be a pain in the ass to tattoo in.
You could
Go ahead.
play with the
Go ahead.
sword.
You touch it. You know you want to touch it.
Feel the power, baby. Get Zippy on site.
Just waiting for the lightning to strike.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
So you have a lot of experience with TV and doing different tattoo-related shows.
Yeah, I kind of fell into a weird like spot to where like I keep getting offers to do stuff. I fill a role that a lot of people, like I said, I'm the guy that there's different levels of like fame on tattoo TV or whatever. Like like I said, there's like the Ryan Ashleys and the DJ Tombies, all that, whatever. And then there's me. And like
You put the top scale back.
so like people know me and I'm on TV, but I'm the dude that's like, oh, you're the guy that got in a fight with people, or like you're the one that started shit, and like I'm just not scared of confrontation.
I could do whatever I want in my bubble.
But what if I step into this bubble?
I mean, then you're crossing that bubble.
And then what? What
Then you're
happens
crossing
if I
that
cross
bubble, bro.
Huh?
Back the
Back me the up.
Where did this start? Like, where was the first intro to like getting the TV?
I got a random call one day. I was working, I don't know. Where was I working?
Joe, do you know?
I was working near the beach. Yeah, Joe, do you know?
Do you know?
Yeah, where were you?
Well,
After
actually,
Into the Woods, right?
no, well,
This was post-
yeah,
yeah.
it was.
You
'Cause
were
that's
working
when I
with
got the
Jimmy at the
call.
time, weren't you?
Yeah. So like, I got the call then, and they were like interested in me, and I remember going and talking to Joe, I think, and I was like, I just got this call. I'm like, he was like, what? Get the fuck out of here! And everybody didn't really know how to feel about it because it's kind of a weird thing,
Because it was like, yo, Ink Master.
yeah,
Okay,
it was
yeah.
like, yeah, and it was like they like greenlighted it from the beginning. Like it was like they were like, yes, you're gonna be in it, and like
You
now
answer
it's-
the phone, you're like, fuck you, don't call here. This is our guy. This is our guy.
They were like said something on the phone. I just remember going, "Fuck you! Is this real?" Like,
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, do you want to do it?" Everybody keeps, a lot of people were turning it down.
Gotcha.
And I remember saying, "I go, no, I'll do it. It's a life experience. Whatever." I knew that I had my own reason for wanting to do it, so which I did it for my daughter, like, because
Nice.
I don't know, I couldn't imagine going through this life and skipping out on something. Like when I'm dead and gone, like there's gonna be a period of time where my daughter's still around, and she can go watch me still.
Yeah.
So it's like that. That's what I thought about. I got one picture on my Instagram that really like encompasses it all. It's my daughter looking up at a TV and I'm staring, and she's looking at me like all proud. So
Yeah.
all the shit talker and all of the people that talk bad about it, like I don't care. Like it's for her.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously it helped my career. It still helps me to this day, even
Yeah.
though it's like I was on the older episodes.
When you got on, was it very clear? They're like, listen, you're going to be a confrontational person.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. They're right from the jump. They're like,
They're like,
They're like,
Stir the shit.
yeah. They're like, listen.
Wasn't it Rivals? Wasn't
was
that
Rivals,
that was the first time you
With
were on, right? With Mark?
Yeah. And I love Mark. Mark's the greatest fucking. He's
You
Mark.
guys weren't actually
Nah,
Rivals.
dude, like they needed drama. So
Yeah.
and they're like, we need you to stir some shit, and I'm like, all right, bet. I go, I'm not.
Did they give you free reign to stir shit, or
Yeah,
they told you how?
Yeah, but sometimes they would like instigate. Like they'd put like two people in a room, and they'd come in and they'd stir the shit, and then they'd put like me in a room, and they're like, okay, have at it, and it's like, yeah, no problem. Like,
Was there ever a time where you're like, damn, I don't know the best way to go about this?
there was
As
one,
far as like stirring shit?
well, there was one moment when me and Clean were in the room, and they were like, okay, have at it, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've known Clean for like my whole career, so it was really hard. I looked up to him. Like,
Right, yeah.
when that season first aired, we all kind of walked down and like meet each other for the first time. And Clean walks out. Nobody on my cast knew who Clean was, except for maybe Jason.
That's embarrassing.
And it was very embarrassing. And I instantly go, well, we're all fucked. Like no one here was as good as him. Like
Yeah.
we all, how it is. There's kind of like a pecking
Yeah,
order, and we kind of know. And nobody was as good as him, and we all knew it, or I knew it. And they were like, "What?"
They were about to find out.
Yeah, I go, "Yo, you're gonna learn today." I go,
Because they would be like, yo, start shit.
Yeah.
And then, because what I related to is like sometimes like my friends or boys will like play pranks or make jokes. And I'm trying to find that
line.
perfect middle ground of where like they'll respect it and not like, oh, I just hurt their feelings.
Yeah. So
Was there any of that?
no,
No, dude. You were built for TV.
they were just go at him. Like,
Yeah.
I was the first person to get up and like pick a fight,
Right.
like in the show, and they were just like,
So what? You just start talking shit to them?
Well, no, the kid started running his mouth. I love you, LT, by the way.
This was the actual,
actual
like the big
LT,
confrontation,
the big confrontation.
right?
The first
one
time.
that-
It's the first time like anything really ever popped off. Like,
On Ink Master.
Other than what's his face with Kyle Dunbar. But that was
He's
kind
the
of
one
the way
that,
they
hit him or
muffled
whatever?
it.
Yeah, they actually went at it.
Yeah.
Like in the street, they were outside.
Like,
or
yeah,
something.
they were like Kyle was ready to like try and go after it.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, that's whatever. But yeah, the thing was, we were all sitting there, and the kid. I keep calling him a kid. He's a grown man with a kid right now. Like, so he's not a kid at the time, but he was the youngest one in the room. I think he'd been tattooing like 2 years at the time, and the poor kid was like scared. And like, he was in a room full of actual tattooers that were been doing it a long time. And
so then you started shit with.
Well, he thought, well, yeah. No, I was sitting.
You have to learn, dude.
Check it out. Life's tough. Get a helmet. You know what I mean? Fuck. Well, we were sitting there, and I was kind of kicked back. And if you watch it, like I'm just kind of like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, here we go. All right, fucking. So I just gassed up and fucking started yelling, and it just everybody. All of a sudden, there was like 12 cameras. That just they were like, holy fuck. And then that it was like the moment that I was the guy that started shit. So. Yeah. And they told me they were like trying to do like a heroes versus villains season.
Okay,
And they're like, we need you if that ever happens. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be a villain. But it would still be fun, I guess.
Now, when you would like enter situations like that, and obviously, cameras are coming in and they want it, the person that you were having the altercation with, would it ever like be weird after? Would they get their feelings hurt?
Yes. Yeah. Some yes and some no. Like, Clean was always like, let me have it. I don't give a fuck. Like, he knew that after it was over, we still respect each other.
Like, was there like, yo, we're good?
Yeah.
Okay,
kinda like you,
cameras are off, right?
Yeah.
All
like
right.
even
that was pretty funny.
But there's other ones like, man, it hurt their fucking feelings, dude. And it's like, but you tell them after, you're like, look, dude, this is what we're here for.
Right.
You didn't sign up Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes through the fucking rainbows, Well,
because the thing is, if you had a script and and in the script it was like altercation, I don't think anyone would be mad at the end.
That's the thing. There was no script.
Well, I know, but you know what I mean? Like, just the perspective change.
Everybody, that's the thing I get a lot. Oh, it's scripted.
You're doing improv.
And it's like, it's literally on the moment.
Yeah.
Dude, getting the fucking tattooers to read a script is like herding cats. It's impossible, like, we're all special.
All right. Model Citizen used to be cool before Alex started wearing it. Are you tired of being unattractive to everyone around you? Well, not anymore. With the Model Citizen apparel, you'll be beating them off with a stick. Finally, tattoo clothing that is actual quality, that I can wear around and feel good. For real though, the quality of these clothes is top notch. This is like nothing you've ever seen before with a tattoo company. This isn't some Gildan bullshit. These are quality, hand-picked clothing. They have everything from vintage styles, oversized clothes, modern tees. Go to themodelcitizen.com. Get them before Alex does.
So, like, over the years, we've known a lot of people that have been on the show.
Right.
Like Ron and Jesse and all these guys and stuff like that. And I've heard a lot of stories where the conditions that you guys are under on the show, it's like set up for conflict. Like, they keep you hungry. They keep you stressed.
They
like,
fuck with the thermostat.
They don't let you sleep.
They'll put you in a room and like three fucking heated people that are already gassed up, and then they'll keep you in there for like 3 or 4 hours, and they'll fuck with the thermostat, turn it up, turn it down.
So they keep you on edge, just like, so anything could just set it off, right?
We'd have long ass days, like 14, 18-hour days, and I'd be like, dude, I just want a water. And they're like, oh, we'll get you water. And then that takes like an hour to come, right? And when it gets there, it's like this big old chest, and they give you a chest, and you're like, yeah, and it's just like Red Bull and fucking Goldschlager. And I'm like, I just want a fucking water, dude. Like, so it was altered then. I don't know how it is now, like with the newer, but
yeah,
it's definitely a lot less confrontational now. Like I watched not this last one, but the one before it, and it was really soft, like as far as confrontation wise. Now it's gearing more back towards art and all that stuff, and everybody like being cool with each other.
When your first season aired and you had that character displayed, did that change things for you in your home career?
No, because I've been tattooing for so long everybody already knows
Like
how
prior to the
prior
show.
to the show.
Yeah.
So like, and I've been doing conventions for shit my whole career. So it's like people knew how I was. So when they saw me on TV, they were like, "Ha!" You know, like
Right.
whatever. You know, like
Right, like, oh, it's TV.
it's TV.
Yeah.
So, but the ones that don't, dude, I got so much prison mail from like, I'm not even joking.
Like fan
like
prison
fan
mail?
prison mail, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is the epitome of my career. Just
This is
like-
my audience.
Well, dude, they put me in like, let's face it, I looked like Fred Durst and fucking Vin Diesel's love child on the show. They fucking dressed me up. Dude, you know what I mean? The vest, and they put me in like a biker vest and like a red hat backwards.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They
dude,
put
I'm
the
like,
MC cut on you.
never
You're like,
wear that
this
in-
is this guy.
yeah, so it was like, and we didn't get to dress ourselves. Nobody
Right.
up there got to dress themselves. So it was funny how they projected me.
I thought the way they did Chris was hilarious.
Oh, with the bow
With
tie.
the overalls and the Chris
He
Winston.
hated it. Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about the one on my season because they put him in like bow ties and like coveralls and like weird. And he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, yeah, Chris doesn't look like that. None of us really look like that,
Right.
you know. So, but it is what it is.
What character you think you'd be?
I have no idea.
Be the aged sage.
Yeah, just be the old guy.
Jojo
the
Fett?
dad.
Put me in, like-
There's always a dad, you
They
know.
put me
like,
in Dockers and
New Balance,
members
old New
only
Balance.
Put
jacket.
on this monocle. Real
Damn, that'd be sick.
You'd be perfect. for
Also, start shit with people.
that, right? I kind
I
of
just
miss.
be out there like telling people to get off my lawn. Fucking kids today. You don't know what real music is.
one of-
Justin Bieber.
One of the big things during my season that I brought up to you that so season 5, that was the first season I was on. That was the last season before the iPad was created. So everything up until season 5 was hand drawn.
Yeah.
That's why everything was so fucked those first 5 seasons because everybody's trying to like, you know, the hands were fucked, the faces were fucked. But that's so nobody realized like
iPad changed
the
shit,
iPad, the art got better after that.
Yeah.
So the drama disappeared. You know what I mean?
I do kind of remember like when iPads were first coming out in Ink Master, like there was focus on like people like copying references or like
you could only
cheating kind of.
You can only use Getty images. You could only, which nobody fucking uses. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, but they tried to dim that. But then like outside people had other people drawing and sending in pictures and like it was cutthroat at that time.
Yeah.
Like, everything was like new and like Wild West, so you could get away with anything at that
Right,
time. Now,
right.
yes, they're a lot more strict, but yeah, dude, it was wild. Like, I was the first person on my I was the only person on my season using cartridges at that
Oh,
time.
shit.
I had coils,
Right.
and I had a Cheyenne Hawk, like
Hell yeah.
the first one or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, like, and everybody looked at it like, "What are you doing?" Like,
What the fuck?
what
He's
what
cheating.
Yeah, legit. And I was like, I remember they all came over and like looked at my cartridges and they were like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm
Right.
like,
He has an advantage we
yeah,
don't have.
it was, one of the camera guys busted one of my coils because you're not allowed
Oh,
to talk to
shit.
them, so they backed into my box and like knocked one of my machines off and just fucked it up.
Damn.
And I'm like freaking out on this fucking
Yeah.
camera guy, and
So
he's
like, get this.
yeah, legit. Like, but I took it a little far, so like they couldn't use it. But it was like there was a lot of things that happened. You guys like the world sees like this much,
Yeah.
you know. So, which we all know.
Was there anything left out that you wish was in there?
Yeah, no, like not. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, I wish there was so much fun on the show.
Yeah.
Tattooers are fucking funny. Like we don't have lives, so like we talk shit all day. We understand how to play, and
Yeah.
I wish they showed more of that because to me that's way more entertaining than us trying to hate each other all the time. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
So,
The joking, the shit talking.
hey, dude, why do we come and do this? We don't sit in here and fucking get angry at each other, and you know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's not a real thing. So.
Yeah, no, I come here to like talk shit with the boys all day and
Hell yeah.
hopefully not hurt feelings too bad.
a little
I got a little bit, you know,
Gotta get it a little bit.
More so the client.
That's that's the fun.
Yeah, for the client, it's just like entertainment all day. They're like, I'm just gonna stay out of this, but I'm gonna watch
The
it.
clients love it. They're sitting back there like, yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. They work 9 to 5 every day or
Yeah.
whatever. They save up all their money and they come sit in the chair. And for that 3 to 8 hours that we tattoo them, they get to feel like rock stars. They get to feel like us.
Yeah.
and that's out of
It's
the
a
norm.
totally
We forget
different
that.
experience,
We
yeah.
totally forget that.
Right.
And I think we take that for granted. It's like
They get to come into our wild, demented world
Dude,
where
and-
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
They're like,
for
this
that-
is workplace.
yeah, for that amount of
Right.
time, they're fucking rock stars and they
Yeah.
feel great. Like, which I think is cool because
And they get to leave with something. which
something
is
rad.
cool.
I mean, for a regular person nowadays to make the money to afford us in a day, it's a
Yeah.
lot of work for them. So, and I put that into my mind, and I appreciate that. So,
Absolutely.
you know, but we're worth it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What's
You
that?
got to make the experience.
Yeah,
Right. I
the
mean,
whole
it's,
thing, from
it's
the door to
more.
the
It's
chair.
become more than just the tattoo.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's the experience. It's, you know, having the client come in and like them being able to kind of relate to you on some level and like, you know, whatever your style might be or whatever that kind of like appeals to them. And then you make that experience as fun for them as possible. You know,
Absolutely,
and
dude.
in turn you wind up having fun and
I mean,
it just
how many
makes
of
the
us-
day better.
How many of us have seen like a super mediocre tattooer, like, but they're slaying it, making money, all kinds of stuff. Why? Because the bedside manner is like amazing.
Right. Amazing personality, good experience.
Yeah, I'd much rather get a mediocre tattoo for someone that I really like than a super dope tattoo by someone I can barely sit in a chair with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, because you said, you know, it's become more than just a tattoo, the experience.
Right.
You know, and we were talking about like a lot of things that have like grown in the industry. One of them being like how to stay relevant or even just how to like keep up with like the trends and like what's been changing. You know, everything for even back to the iPad, you know, whether it's social media, all these things. I mean, how have you been able to keep up with the trends or like stay relevant?
Well, it's like a big thing with me. I'm actually trying to figure out some kind of something to help out my people. Because, like, I'm an aging artist. I'm an older artist. I've been doing it for 20 years now. Joe, how long have you been doing it?
Almost 30.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's not, you know, that walk in the park. Well, at some point, like, even though we make cool shit, because we're aging, like, it's hard, you know, to keep up with, like, younger crowd. You guys got it on point. Like, everything's faster, everything's better, everything's shinier. Like, so all the guys I grew up with and around and looked after and whatever, like, that were homies, they're not wanting to play the game anymore. They're not wanting to do the posts, the videos. It's a lot of extra work. I mean, how much extra side work do you do that's not tattooing?
Yeah, no, it's insane.
It's insane, right? I don't know how you do it. Just like even this production right here, this is a lot of time and effort.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a team, right? It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
doing it alone, but it's probably 50-50 with tattooing,
Oh, absolutely.
which is kind of crazy. And there's even some days where I'm like, is this what I want it to be? You know, this is a lot of stuff.
Dude, there's a lot of days like where I'm just cool kicking back and not trying to post anything, not doing.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, the minute you stop, the money stops.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. I love that everybody gets to do their styles and their one kind of thing and blah, blah, blah. Tattooing is a service industry. There's a reason we do it. We do it for people so we can survive doing something we love. If we're lucky to do our art in the process, like that's the bonus in my mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was brought up on walk-ins and taking what comes in all styles. And I guess that gets to me where people are like the younger crowd where they're like, well, I don't want to do everything. And I don't want, and the older artists are, oh, they're just screaming at me and saying, da-da-da-da. Well, we're not screaming at them to tell them, hey, you shouldn't do one style. You should learn all styles because tattooing is in a trend and it goes up and down. So when it goes down, you can still make money and support your lifestyle. Because one day you're going to do traditional, one day you're not. One day you're going to do black and gray, one day you're not. And
it's all going to help, right? If you want to specialize in whatever, you want to do realism or you want to do new school or whatever, learning other styles can only help
your
that
style that you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you can incorporate things, learn, pick up little tricks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think a big obstacle for aging artists like you, speak for yourself, but it's like the resistance to new shit, right? Like I remember like when you said when the iPads came out,
Right.
and we're like, fuck
this thing. This is
iPad. You know what I mean? Same thing with like, you know, whatever. Like there were, you know, plenty of old school artists who didn't want to use like the derm, like the Sanoderm or, you know, stuff like
pens.
that. Like the pen machines,
the
all
pens.
of it, you know,
Yeah.
loyal to the coil, the whole thing.
Dude, I haven't heard the word dildo used on a machine in like a couple years now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of, you know, that
getting
everybody's,
better.
yeah, it's
Progress.
getting better. Yeah. You
But
know.
it's like, it's adapt or die, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of embrace the new, the new trends or whatever. Maybe not, trends, but like new technology, advancements. It's only going to make things better. It makes it easier for you. Like, dude, I still have my coil machines. They're like collector's items now. I never even break them out of the box because like,
I'm actually going back.
Are you?
Yeah, just because like I want to leave this business the way I came in, and it's like now that I've realized I can do. I mean, obviously, pens make it a lot easier and more, convenience like out the frame, But something about that, just that to me, it has a soul. The machine has a soul. You get attached to your coil, or you get attached to your whatever. I've never been attached to a pen. You know what I mean? I love them. They're awesome. They work great. Whatever. But I want that attachment. I guess I'm trying to find that nostalgia of like where I started and make it new. Yeah. I'm trying to find that happy.
Plus, they're like pieces of art themselves, right? A custom built coil machine, an Aaron Kane or something where it's like hand carved and
awesome.
It's all bio-mech'd out and stuff.
I never thought about that until you just said it, but you're 100% right.
Like how many Bishop machines? The Bishop machines are great. I got them too.
Right,
I love
Use
Bishop.
Discount code Unemployable.
I love the Bishop one. I got one in my bag right now. But are you really attached to it, or can you just replace it at the drop of a hat and not be? You know what I mean? Like, because you know how easily made and well made it is, and like how well made it is. You see what I did?
Well, because it's like, what quality?
They're great.
But it's just the same thing over and over again. And like I just know like it's gonna be perfect every time it's made. And when there's issues, I just get a new one.
Yeah.
But back in the dude, I remember my first machine. Like I saved up. I think it was $250. I got my Mickey Sharp.
Yeah. Dial? Was it a dial?
The hardest thing was like, do I go brass like my fucking mentor and have a 5-pound machine, or do I not? And I went because I was young and frail, right?
Get there.
But dude, it meant so much, and I got like a special box for it, and I carried it around with me everywhere. And I knew what it was good at, and maybe and then I got my Paul Rogers. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this for shading, and then. Even like as it went up, like getting different machines by machine builders, I would go to conventions and like meet, people like Dr. Potter. And I'm like, I'm going to get this weird one. And like, I was like, this is good at single line. This is, good at shading. And I had them out, and they had personality.
They had their place.
Bro, and I was like excited to show
Learning
people.
how to tune them and stuff.
Oh, this is for my 13
Replacing
mag.
parts.
Wait till and then you would get excited about the point where you got to your 13 mag and you got to tattoo and people are looking at you, whipping out with the Tim Hendricks machine. And you're like, look at that motherfucker.
Or like your single coils or whatever. It was cool, and it almost was a reflection of who you were with what machines you had. Yeah. Right?
And I don't know, dude. There's nothing better. It's just a feeling you get. Pens are way easier. Pens make everything.
Maybe if people customized pens a little bit more, you know what I mean? If you put a little bit of craftsmanship into it, because there was craftsmanship in those coil machines that you appreciated, and it kind of like, added to yours. When you would have like 5 machines set up in your station, different.
I mean, think about it. Like, we would do guest spots. People would show up, and you break out your machine. You know how it is. You had your gun case, and you know what I mean. You broke them out. And you didn't say anything, but you looked around, and everybody was like, "What do you got?"
Right.
And then you would try to like trade them like baseball cards almost sometimes. Like whatever.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of love in that. I miss that. So.
And like even like little details, like using like coins and like your whatever it was, and I was
for
like
your gaps and stuff. Yeah,
like this is sick, But you do kind of lose that. It's almost like driving a Tesla. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like Teslas are rad. I've been in a bunch of them.
Right.
I also feel like they're so sterile and like I couldn't personally get attached to a Tesla.
Me neither.
Tesla.
I just crash and be like, give me a new one.
Look like anything.
I mean,
although like I will say for me, the pens have definitely, been a big like improvement as far as just like mobility and like, easier on my hands. Like I remember when I was using coils, I used to get a cramp in this part of my hand consistently. Yeah. And I would have to like do this.
Remember the money bump?
Work it out. Yeah, the money bump.
I finally got my money bump down.
Mine is still kind of there a little bit. But having like a wireless, cordless pen where you don't have to drag your cord and wrap it and step on
having
it.
the ease of like pulling out 17 needles
out of
for
the
a
power
piece.
supply. Yeah.
Like
you know, there's definitely pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I still like, you know, having my coils, but yeah, I'd be lying if I said I still use them.
Yeah.
I've been big into using the Pegasus machine from South State Manufacturing. Those are like, it's like a rotary, but it's like, but they make coils, and I like their coils and everything. So if you ever get a chance, yeah, Toby. Yeah, I'm getting machines by Toby for like ever, dude. So he was making the best blackie machines forever, and so I like him. Anyway,
What's a money bump?
are you kidding me?
Danny doesn't tattoo.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Oh, no. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
Asking for the crowd.
A money bump. So like,
It's a callus that develops on your finger.
Like kind of
Yeah.
when you write a
and
lot.
you can,
It's where your tube rests.
The more money, the more bump.
Exactly.
the more you're in the chair tattooing,
Yeah.
the more this fucking thing jumps up. You know what I mean? And then we
checks
can put
out.
a shoe on it, almost stone it, and like,
No wonder
try
I'm
to not
broke.
look
I got
like-
no
like
money
Tattoo
bumps.
a face on it.
yeah. So yeah,
I
there's
totally
no,
knew that.
There's no money bumps anymore, apparently. So.
But it sounds like, oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask because I noticed like over the years I've been obviously, you know, we go way back.
Yeah.
You know, we're boys from back in the day, so I've always followed your career even after, you know, we weren't working together anymore. But I noticed that your work has kind of gravitated more towards black and gray.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious choice, or did it just kind of happen?
There was a lot of reasons for it. One, I could do any style in black and gray. So I can do traditional, neo-trad, pointillism, like realism, whatever. So like it still gives me the range of doing everything, but I only got to carry one bottle with me when I go anywhere.
That's huge.
You know what I mean? And like, to be fair, like I love color. For the people that do color, like you guys kill it. You guys are on another level. I mean, I still do color. I just don't post it. So it's, but black and gray for me heals so well. It ages well. It looks great with all kinds of clothing. You know what I mean? Like it's just aesthetically pleasing to me.
Yeah, it's classic.
It's classic, you know, and I'm a classy guy. So you know. But yes, I love black and gray now more so than ever. So
Nice. Yeah, it shows.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Putting a lot of work into it.
I mean, it seems like you've adapted pretty well with like the new trends. Because
Yeah.
you were like, you even said, hey, when I was on Ink Master, I was the only one using cartridges.
Yeah.
You know, cartridges, pens, iPads. And now, like, with social media, like, I know you do podcasts. Obviously, like, you're participating in the TV world. And you said it wasn't like a one and done with Ink Master. You did a couple things,
Yes,
right?
I did Redemption. I did a couple holiday episodes, and then I did Grudge Match. I won that one. Yeah, so I've been on, and then I've just recently got picked up for another pilot for another show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I've always been in the right place at the right time.
Nice.
So it's just kind of one of those lucky things, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
No, it's hard work and dedication. No, it's luck. Being in the right place at the right time for a lot of it. So I don't know. It's the people. Opportunities come in tattooing, and there's not really a high other than the highest money making artists and like all those guys and like whatever. So like, I don't know. I take any opportunity that comes.
Yeah.
Because I don't. One, it's a life experience. I'm not gonna put it down until I try it, and if I don't like it, then I just don't like it. It's not a big deal, you know. But I feel like you should take anything that comes to your door for the most part.
Yeah. Like, at least give it a second look, have a conversation. Is this something that could work for me? Because you see a lot of people just no, kind of like stuck in their ways.
Oh, dude.
Because I know you're all over social media. How was that? Because I know that wasn't a thing when any of us started.
You started over several times with that too, right?
Yeah, dude. I've had 4 accounts. I've been hacked 4 times. Like, but one of the times I got fed up, so I shut it all down. It was like my highest point of like, I was on Instagram. I had like a couple 100,000 followers or whatever. And because after the show, you know, it obviously it boosts you. But I got so fed up. Like I was burned out.
Yeah.
So like I shut it all down. I was like, I'm done. And actually it was better for me. Because when I came back to the scene, like the scene's totally different now. But like when I say the scene, like the convention scene, people were like, holy shit, like you just fucking
Disappeared.
and you didn't give a fuck, you know, like you weren't like bothered by it, and it didn't bother me. It felt like freeing to leave all this. You know what I mean? It's hard, you know, obviously to leave it, but because you need it to make money.
Right.
But man, it was like the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life.
I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, look at me. I bet.
Tell me more.
I bet.
Tell me more.
What's that like?
What was one of the biggest reasons you got off of it?
I was just so sick of everybody being a professional. Everybody's the know-it-all now. Like, everybody has their way of doing it, and this, that, and the other thing, and they're putting down this person. And I don't like negativity. Like, I can't do it. Like, I've taught my daughter, don't deal with negativity at all. If we go to Subway and, like, the person's making a sandwich for us and they're treating me like shit, I tell her, don't ingest that food because you're ingesting the negativity that was made. Like, I'm really against it. So seeing it every day, like, I had to unfollow friends. I had to unfollow. That's how it all started. I didn't just jump off. I, like, slowly unfollowed people until I realized I have to, like, get rid of it. And a lot of my friends' feelings got hurt because I unfollowed them. And they're like, I'm like, bro, do you have my phone number?
Right.
Yeah.
Then we're good. You know, like.
Dude, I was doing that the other day. I was like going to talk to a friend and I went to message them on Instagram and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just going to text them.
Or you can call them. Like, legit, people don't even phone call anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of my close friends now, I'll FaceTime. Like, I'll just, because I don't care if you're on the toilet. I don't give a fuck. Let's FaceTime, whatever. Like, let's talk some shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have that technology, right?
Why not use it? Nobody uses it.
You know, it's been in sci-fi shows for years, and we can actually see the person,
but we don't use it.
Yeah.
So
was there ever a thought like, hey, I know I have to be on social media, I have to do kind of these new things. Was there ever a thought that you're like, I'm too old for this, like, this isn't my generation, I'm not going to do this?
No, I never felt that way, but I did know that if I kept doing it, I just kept seeing all the people I grew up with falling off on it.
Yeah.
So I knew if I kept doing it, I'm at least going to be doing what they're not. Because I say it all the time. I've always been that guy that had to work 3 times harder just to be just as good as the next guy in the room. It never came easy for me. Like, it didn't click. Like, art for me has always been really hard, but I loved it. So, like, I was always, my work ethic was always the best part of me. Like, when I die and pass and it all gone and on the stone, like, I want it to be like work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's what I want to be known for. Maybe not like the best, fanciest fucking 3-day long convention pieces that win a piece of plastic, but I guarantee you, like, the connections I make with my people are better. The art that, like, I'm giving them their money's worth. A lot of people forget that, you know, and I think that's the thing now is everything's forgotten. Yeah. Because they're so driven on making a brand and making this and, you know, like, being the number one person on the internet and blah, blah, blah. And this is fun. Tattooing's fucking fun. And people forget how fucking fun it is. And it breaks my heart that that's getting left behind, you know?
Yeah, and you said it before the podcast, and it really stuck out to me. A lot of people complaining about newer tattooers. Yeah. But then you also said, well, that's on you, old heads. It was our job to teach them.
Yeah, I get a little frustrated because...
Which I like that.
Yeah.
It is frustrating to me because I understand both sides. I'm really big about stepping back and going, okay, let me look at both sides of this.
Yeah.
Because how can I sit and preach one side if I don't look at the other
Absolutely.
side? Right? So, older generation, they're completely right, you know, like, about certain things. But it was their job to hand it down properly and keep it going. And it was like they just kind of threw their hands up. And that hurts, you know, like, they needed us more than ever, and somehow we lost it. At some point, it gets bigger than us, and you can't hold on to it, but...
Right,
because not just in tattooing. Either.
Yeah, it's everything.
Because there are people that, like, aren't doing apprenticeships, or they're, like, you know, learning from people that shouldn't be teaching, or, like, it has gotten away from it.
Well, because the information that's on the internet is so good now.
So readily available.
It's so easy. And you
can watch YouTube videos and learn anything. Dude.
It's not like back in the day where, like, there was 14 guys in your city that were the best, and you had to learn from that trickle down of best.
Yeah.
And there was nothing elsewhere to get any information. Now the information's 2 seconds away. You can watch full videos for free.
But it's all, like, technical.
Yeah.
Like, are you finding many videos that are like, here is the etiquette of tattooing?
No, and that's the hand down that people are missing. So it's when you go to a convention.
What would you say some big ones are that are starting to get, like, lost? I mean, definitely the respect.
Respect is
It don't look like you learned no respect from back then.
He looks pissed, man.
It's non-existent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's sad because that was part of the fun too. Having that culture and that respect.
Paying your dues, man. Yeah.
Every young artist hates hearing that.
Right.
Paying your dues.
Yeah.
They hate it.
It shouldn't come easy. Like, I think the biggest value in an apprenticeship is learning how to humble yourself in order to learn from somebody. Right. You know what I mean? Like taking yourself down a peg. I mean, you might have been the best artist in your high school and, you know, the best artist in your neighborhood and whatever. But when you're trying to learn something like tattooing where it's so personal and stuff like that, and the person who's teaching you has paid their dues and has come up and has like, you know, had their feet to the fire and like, you know, done conventions and guest spots and traveling and, you know, tattooed in all kinds of conditions, you know, most of which were not ideal. You know what I mean? You need to learn all of that stuff. And it's like the, you know, the whole thing about like the way we came up where we had to like scrub tubes and you know.
I don't miss that.
Make needles. I don't miss it either. And like, it's not even like you don't need it now, but it did teach you like that work ethic.
Yeah,
it did teach you how to like, you know, have certain procedures and be kind of like ordered and like, cause in my regular life, I'm nowhere near as organized as I am
in your tattoo,
like in my tattoo station. You know, and I like everything where it's supposed to be and everything like that, you know? And I feel like a lot of that gets lost when you just, you know, do like some kind of quick, you know, apprenticeship or online course or something like that, you know.
Too, like I was saying earlier when we were talking, there wasn't no, like, I know there's introverted people, and there's a lot of them, a lot more now in this world, and I don't bag on them or nothing like that because I know everybody's got their own shit going on. But at the same time, when we were growing up, there wasn't such a thing as an introverted tattoo artist.
You couldn't be.
You couldn't be.
Right.
And if you were, you learned how to be an outgoing person. Like, that was part of the apprenticeship because they brought you in, they took you in, you became, even though it was hard, you became part of the family.
Forced out of your comfort zone.
Exactly. That's where all these really outgoing people came from. And I think a lot of people are so sheltered that they're missing out on that. That it's almost like, you know, that's that armor you get from it. So I wish more people would see that.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed the most is like back in the day, it was like if someone had been tattooing longer than you, that you gave them your respect, even if you were a better artist than them.
Absolutely.
And like now it's like this bullshit. Like if they have more followers than you,
Yeah, dude.
you know, and it's like completely backwards. And just like little things. And honestly, like I'm trying to think of now, like what were some things my mentor like really instilled in me back, because he was like an old biker. You know, so I think it was a good, you know, information line. But like little things, like you clean your whole station at the end. When you do a guest spot, you do the same thing. Right. Like when you do a guest spot, you go and you introduce yourself to everyone. You know, and
you bring a gift.
Yeah, you bring a fucking sick gift.
You bring a fucking gift.
But like, and like you have that respect for like those that came before you, and you're like open to that like knowledge. Right. You know, and that's like really what I've seen like being lost, right?
It's missed, man. Like I think the passion is gone from it, which is sad because there's so many amazing artists. Like I said, now the information's so readily available, artists are becoming amazing really fast. Like I'm not bagging on like new kids and like how good they are. They're nasty. Like they're doing shit that we couldn't dream of back then, you know, which is awesome. But if they learned how to carry themselves with the amazing tattoo, then they'd be unstoppable. Right. You know, and then they'd be fucking Voltron in my eyes. Voltron, motherfucker. What's up?
Tat Toolkit. You guys need to check this out. If you want to improve your digital designs and increase your tattoo productivity, then this is the site for you. Tat Toolkit offers digital designs, stamps, reference pictures, stencils, brush sets, and so much more. Whether you're just starting out or you've been in the industry your whole life, these tools will benefit you. What I love about Tat Toolkit is we're constantly working with new artists to really build an online community. You will get an inside look at the design process for each artist we work with. Tat Toolkit will offer everything from the tools these artists are using, the designs they're creating, online seminars, merch, and more. This is a great place to interact and connect directly with the best artists in the industry. You guys need to check this out at tattoolkit.com And don't forget to use code CAMSUCKS for 10% off. All right. Well, thank both of you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Liked being here.
I think we hit a bunch of good topics. We laid down the law. It was really nice. I mean, I think Joe agreed to get an opinion from an old head, right?
Yeah. It's always good to talk to the older generation. Find out what they're thinking.
Whatever.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and see you next week. Guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. I know we joke around a lot and get wild on some topics. But one topic I take very serious is addiction. If you or anyone you know is struggling, don't be afraid to reach out and get the help you need.